let's get the pip going here. We are heading into which was supposed to be our last match of the day. That remains to be seen, of course, because of some unfortunate issues with some withdrawals and forfeits. And I am seeing medium lasers, large pulse on the Grasshopper 5P, large pulse, small pulse on the other 5P. Kodiaks are bringing 4 UAC 5s and 4 ER medium lasers, 3 UAC 10s, and 2 ER medium lasers for the Kodiaks. Interesting choice.
Yeah,
Definitely
a little bit of an interesting mix-up there.
Let's see how it works. Now, one, I guess, disadvantage is you're not able to see how those builds worked against some of the other decks we've been seeing, but on the opposite side, 2 UAC 5, 2 UAC 10, that cooler running DACA, Battlemaster bringing the 5 medium pulse, 1 large pulse, 5 medium laser,
Black
3
Knight
large
builds,
pulse.
as you might expect. SRM 4s and 2 medium lasers from the Griffins and the Oxides, of course, SRM 4s across the board.
The 54th Hunters are actually moving up through the canyon. They're not taking the high ground mostly because they have these brawler mechs. They have their Griffin 3Ms in the backfield here with their 4 SRM4 Artemis, both of them doing the quick cap. And the front group is getting poked on here as they're jumping up. They're going to take a look. They're actually kind of giving away their front position here in the canyon. But it doesn't look like WolfPak is moving in Oopsie. Left the... Sorry. Get that voice muted. There we go. So it looks like their 4 guys are moving up to the Theta ramp here. WolfPak is not taking any advantage of their, I guess, their low position. They're actually backing up into that D4 region, pulling out completely. I think it's because they have that longer range DACA, the lasers, things like that. So they aren't looking to get into a brawl at this point. So they're actually pulling out, and they're going to do a little bit of trading as they come up the ramp. It's a very careful play here by 54th WolfPak.
We do get some initial engagements at Theta from Delta 4 coming across. A little bit of damage by Death of Gods and the Kodiak. I think he got stuck a little bit on the rocks, took a little bit of damage, but those Kodiaks do have a lot of tonnage to give.
So he's Scotch Tape is doing a little bit of his left-handed peeking around the rock, using those left-handed lasers to try and get some of those longer range hits onto Theta where he can, and dodging that return fire pretty well. He had a strike on him, but it didn't look like he even took a tick of damage from that.
I don't think he took a single hit from that.
It was a good dodge, and he's laying it out kind of heavily against the 54th Hunters here. Just
and
basically
looks like they're making a push
shit
across Theta. They've decided they need to get in the brawl here.
Yeah, they definitely can't stagnate on Theta. They're just taking obnoxious amounts of damage. It is kind of a slow burn. They got the Kodiak 3 is relatively low. That's a very important mech to keep alive. But I think moving on them is a very good plan here. Let's see. They are relatively together, and they might be able to catch out the Battlemaster here. The Battlemaster is
in a lot of trouble.
He's got shorter range weapons, but he is far ahead of his group here. If they commit to him, he's going to go down very quickly.
And it looks like they are committing to him.
This is a very timid push around the corner here, and in fact, some of them are actually backing up. For being a brawl deck, they're definitely playing a very standoff position. Griffin 3M has moved up. Simi Tiggles takes down Scimitar. So 1 down for the 54th WolfPak, which is very good for the Hunters. They needed that kill early on here.
And they traded it for a Griffin 3M. Not a bad trade so far.
Not a bad trade. This is a very slow burn for a brawl. 2 dead on either side now. Very standoffish. Not a lot of death balling in the middle. They've got a Griffin 3M caught out in the middle here, and he's actually doing pretty well considering he has 2 lights on him, and he's just lobbing those SRMs back and forth. This the percentage is not looking good for 54th Hunters though overall. Let's see if they can get some of the focus fire where they need it. El Switchblade charges up into the Kodiak here, trying to finish off that Kodiak as best as he can. But he is getting into a 1v3, and he actually goes down. 54th Hunters it's low on the percentages, but up on the mechs right now. And they're dropping mechs left and right. Eagle and Scotch Tape, being the freshest guys on the other team, need to start putting this damage out as quickly as possible, because every single one of these Hunters mechs is hurt. Down. Scotch Tape alone, just as this reminds me of the Crows match, he can do some significant damage, but he's got to be running on heat cap right now. And he needs to land these shots, but he is getting swarmed. And Eagle up top, 85%, is in my opinion, the best position to win this damn thing. This guy right here has so much power to finish this. This is the exact same situation we just saw.
He has to be a little careful with that left peek.
Come on, man. You can do this. Land your shot. Just land your shot and you got it.
He is running up on the heat cap, but he does have a cool shot. That'll
He's
be a
spreading
painful
very
thing
well.
to
He
not
does
use.
get a shot on Death of Gods. It's down to 1v3 situation. Let me see if I can hop into cockpit here, get a little bit of a better view here. He's doing everything he can. Center torso is open and the left torso, but he does go down.
Just couldn't clutch it. A little too much. I think
Good
excitement
effort
there at the end.
Good effort. I mean, that heat cap definitely hurts. I think if he landed every single one of his attempts, at least even partially, he could have done some work there. Grasshopper 5P is at 58%, but he's actually relatively okay. Center torso open on this one. Dark here, he has center torso open. But
and Bellicose actually only has a side torso open.
Yeah, only a side torso. So that is a lot of spread damage. To bring those percentages that low, there's a lot of damage on the legs too. It might have been just you know, not having a commitment to shooting legs or shooting torsos as a team. Damage going every which way. So even though the percentages were very low, those mechs did a very good job spreading it and maintaining their core components to not get hit. So it was very close, don't get me wrong. It probably wasn't as clutchable, I guess, as we originally thought. But it appears that
it would have taken some very precise shooting in order to clutch that, I think. There were open components, and there were open components like side torsos on XL mechs that would have been one-shot kills, but very, very precise shooting was required there. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it.
So my thing says Eagle is still alive, but he is in fact very dead, and the match has come to a conclusion. I don't want to click on him because I think I've seen that before and it'll crash my client. So let's drop the pip here and take a look at the scores. That was a very, like I said before, that was a very slow burn on that brawl.
Streak 43 in the Oxide, one of the 3 mechs alive, 709 damage in that Oxide.
Streak 43. He wasn't running streaks, I hope.
No, he was
when
running
you said Streak 43, I freaked out for a little bit. Like somehow
his name is
somehow that added up to 43 somehow.
43 streaks.
But no, he was running a typical Jenner Oxide, 709 damage. He definitely did work. He had to have been running low on ammo at the end there. Had to have been.
Absolutely.
But that is definitely good work there. Pairing that with the Grasshoppers pulling almost 500 apiece. The Kodiaks definitely doing work. Really, their lowest were the Griffins, and they were in there mixing it up the whole time.
Yep.
So they were, at the very least, soaking the damage and tanking up in the front. But that was definitely an interesting fight. I gotta admit, that was it was very close for those two teams. Definitely interesting mech choices, and for bringing as brawly of a deck as they did, they seemed to hesitate taking that into an actual
brawl. A slow brawl.
It was a standoffy brawl.
Usually see. Yeah.
This might be the kind of thing that you see, you know, between two teams that know each other, that scrim very often. But I feel, and I got to be a little bit critical, I guess.
You guys are good. Thank you very much for the match.
I feel if they take this kind of strategy into a match against another team that's either on equal level or maybe a little bit better than them, I don't think a strat like that is going to fly. There's a reason why you see so many matches go the way they do, and it's you know, it's the most optimal way to play. But I guess it's hard to say why that might be. But I'm sure you had the same feeling I did, is that the time to kill was way higher than we're used to. We're used to, when there's an all-out brawl like that, we're used to saying dead, 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 dead very quickly through very close range focus fire, and I wasn't feeling that. It was spread damage all over the place. Mechs were not falling, and when they finally did start falling, okay, we're finally getting somewhere, but it seemed like it took an extra minute than it usually does. So it felt very weird as a spectator. So hopefully they can come back and watch this and see that, yes, one team won, one team lost. It was very close, but compare this to some of the other brawls we've seen. The time to kill was much higher than I guess is expected for for this kind of close range gameplay, and maybe they can try and work on the focus a little bit better, landing those shots, get in there, mix it up, armor share,
Yep.
all those popular terms that we like to use. They exist for a reason. It's because it's kind of the way the game needs to be played to get the best results. So good luck to both of those teams, though, and thank you definitely for moving up on your schedule to get this match played early for us. We're going to try and see if we can find one more match for the night, and we'll see if we can get anything, I guess. If not, we'll break in and say goodnight, but stick around. The schedule obviously is completely wrecked right now, so don't pay attention to that, but we'll and I'm not playing that music because it keeps getting so damn loud. I gotta fix that too. So we'll be right back, and hopefully we can bring in some more MechWarrior action. Thanks for watching.